All right, so first thing to do is pick up one of these panels. It's an end panel. I got this at Home Depot, and then just stain it whatever color you want and then put a clear top coat over that. I used a custom mix stain from Sherwin-Williams to match the rest of the base cabinets downstairs, and then I used this polyacrylic top coat in a clear semi-gloss. Then pick up one of these handy panels, I believe they're called, from Home Depot as well. This measures 2 feet by 4 feet. You won't need all of it. You'll just need to cut this down to size so that it matches that. So let's go do that. Oh, and this is 3/4 inch plywood. Seems to be right on. So now we can glue this piece onto the plywood. This is what I'm gonna use. It's just Wellwood contact cement. And what you do here is you brush it onto both pieces. So brush it on this piece, brush it on that piece, let them both set up a little bit until it's just tacky. You can put your finger on it and you might see some strings of glue pull up with your finger. That's when you're gonna wanna stick both panels together. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure to really get out to the edges so those don't peel back eventually over the years. All right, now I'm just gonna put some heavy things on top of it and let that dry. Then I can measure this front little trim piece and cut it to length. Then I can attach this piece to the front of this panel using some wood glue and some brad nails. Then I'll come back and stain it the same color and seal it up. Then I took the panel and I set this end down, clamped it to the workbench, and I'm just gonna let that joint dry. Then I'm gonna take some 3/4 inch plywood and cut some stretcher pieces. These pieces are going to span between the end panel and the other cabinet next to the refrigerator. All right, so this is pretty much good to go. Now I can just take a couple of my stretcher pieces and install those on this side, and then I'll bring it downstairs and install it in place. All right, so one thing to kind of keep in mind is when this is installed downstairs, this edge is gonna be against the wall. So basically, pretend that's the wall right there. So that means when I install these stretcher pieces, I'm gonna want the pocket holes on this side, because if I put them on this side, yeah, I can access it right now out on the workshop, but once I put this downstairs, I'm not gonna be able to drive those into the other base cabinet. So put your pocket holes on this side and you should be good to go. All right, so this piece is just gonna slide in right like this. Just like that. So let me remove this mini fridge and then I can screw it to this other cabinet. Alright, so I got the bottom one installed. Now I'm just gonna check to see if the side panel is plumb. Looks like the top could come out just a little bit. So I'll do that, and then you'll notice over here there's gonna be a little bit of a gap once I pull the top away. So I'll just use a shim and get that nice and plumb. Alright, and then to attach this to the wall, I'm just going to put a screw through here and the bottom one as well. I know that I have a 2x4 running right here because of my outlets and my switch. So I'm just going to kind of mark something off right there. Alright, and then I should just be able to drive the screw through there and hit that 2x4. There we go. So that's going to keep this whole panel tight to the wall. Hi, Reese. Alright, I'm just going to put the fridge back in place before I secure that last little stretcher piece. I did that because I wanted to make sure that I installed this piece high enough that it won't be hitting the top of the mini fridge. So it looks like I got, about 3/4 to an inch of room under there, so we should be just fine. And I'm gonna install this set back from the front just a little bit so that once the lip of the countertop is on there, hopefully you won't see this strip. If you end up seeing this strip, then you can just take a little bit of stain on that front edge and that should pretty much hide it. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. It's very simple to build one of these end panels, and I think just about anybody can do it. And if you guys need to make one of these end panels for your own project, I'll leave links to all the tools and materials that I used to make this one in the description box below. So check that out. If you guys enjoyed this video, it'd be awesome if you could hit that like button down below. That just tells YouTube that this was a decent video and maybe it should pass it on to some other people to watch. And if you learned something from this video, or if you just want to see more of my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Only if I've earned it. That way you're notified every time I release a new video. And until next time,